Like that, we good.
I think that's my message that we just went live. Yeah. Twice. We got sound?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ta'ala.
double honors unto our apostles and our elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Yakwath that are actually listening and learning, the few that are. To you, we say shalom. And we're just going to jump right into this thing, man. If we could, video scripture I've been using a whole lot lately. I think it's Deuteronomy 33:29, I believe. The enemy shall be found liars. These people are plotting on us. All right, you have to remember that Israel has enemies. Give me that Luke. I think it's around Luke 1 and like 73 or something like that. 70, yeah, something like that. Just that portion of that scripture that you know that we have enemies.
You want to do Deuteronomy first or Luke?
Oh, if it ain't none. But go ahead. And the Luke first, about the show.
This is Luke 1 and verse 74. I'm starting 73. The oath which he swore to our father Abraham that he would grant unto us that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies might serve him without fear.
Right, and so that's the point, man. Israel has enemies that they still need to be delivered from. All right, because you know Yahweh Ratazah, I'm gonna do a lesson on this later. You know, as a response to a video that Elder Apostle Tahar did earlier. You know, when Vocab was with some sellout, castaway, former One Western. You know, talking that madness, man. Israel still has enemies in the New Testament. So the prophecies haven't been fulfilled. So we need deliverance from our enemies.
But he's sitting up there talking to Vocab, and then him and Vocab are not in full agreement. So how you up there going to see? That's how you know the madness. He's sitting there. Well, I still believe in Isaiah 14 because Isaiah Vocab.
Well, but that's what the hell he get for trying to align himself. You know, I hope you die to death like Jonathan and Simon. You trust in your enemies, man. You're gonna die, man. All right. And besides, he took his hand off the plow.
That's
so,
it.
Fuck him.
I got one quick one if I may.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Baruch 3:10. How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead?
Call it. What was that scripture again?
This is Baruch 3:10.
Oh, Baruch. Okay, con.
I got one. This just going back to like how the elder said about our enemies. And you got to know one thing: the Lord said that He had war with Amalek forever.
And the fact that He said that's a good thing. The fact that Murph said we had war with Amalek forever. Who owns the media?
Amalek.
So they completely own the media, man. So they're going to always pump themselves up and put us down. They're always going to make themselves the hero, make us the zero villain. And the truth, and that's why we're going to play that video about the council culture, because council culture is what? Council culture is them. They're canceling you out, and canceling you out usually means that they're killing you. You know, and what do? And first thing before they come after you, what did he say in the movie Gladiator? He said before he says he has to kill your name before he kills you.
He said you have a great name.
You know.
He said you have a great name. Before he kills you,
he's got to kill your name. So what they have to do is they have to defame you. They have to make a villain out of you. All right, and when they're the villains, all right.
I got a quick two if I may.
Absolutely.
I ain't never bring this.
Okay, kind of let him finish.
This
Well, hold on.
This is hold on, Rock. This is Psalms 83:1. A song of Psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have come and said, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance.
Right. So you warned all throughout the Bible that because the way they make it look, in order for Esau to be done away with, and Isaiah 14 to have already come past,
Come on now.
the kingdom of heaven and the rulership of the house of David has to be, established and in order. And guess what? The rulers, the house of David is not ruling over the whole world, over the whole universe as they're promised to. So that means that these things haven't happened yet, man.
I got something for you.
Go bring it out,
This
brother.
Hebrews 10 and 12.
No, just about.
This Hebrews 10 and 12. But this man, after he offered one sacrifice for sins forever, this man, somebody Yahushai, sat down on the right hand of the Most High, from henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool, which is what King David called in Psalms.
Right.
Sit down on my right hand to make thy enemies thy footstool. So all nations didn't get conquered yet by Yahushai. Like
So listening to what you just read, and the philosophy, the lies of Vocab Malone and people like him. All right, because this ain't supposed to be about him.
Come on, brother.
But the spirit do what the spirit do. All right, but the point being is that how are you going to be the enemy of the Lord and then be the co-ruler with the Lord?
That's it.
It makes absolutely no sense
And
whatsoever.
that goes along with all the rest of the nations that they try to lump
That's
in.
the point.
And he's trying to open up the door when he said, what one nation has not had part of the spoils of Israel? And when have the other nations paid back? The Lord always said there's going to be a matter of fact, Yahushai got killed for what he did in the past. It's always a reckoning. So what the nations done? They get a free pass, but the Lord himself got to go suffer for his past.
The Lord got to suffer for his sins, but the nations just
They
get
get a free
They
pass.
just get to skip.
Simple
Right.
little dog,
Right.
simple, yeah.
Let bygones be bygones.
Daniel 7 and 14. And there was given him dominion and glory and the kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. That's all the enemies that put on his feet. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away. His kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, man.
So how you gonna serve the Lord and rule with the Lord?
Right. That's why Yahushua had a head full of crowns. He went forth to conquer. In righteousness, he don't go forth to wage war. He got, let me.
Come,
Go ahead.
we're gonna run it down.
Hold on up.
You farm your whole Bible.
This is Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. Verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had on his name written that no man knew but he himself. Verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations.
So an army is following the Lord. He's got a sharp sword, and they're smiting the nations. But yet those nations are going to also rule with side by side with them. That is fucking retarded.
And
man.
meanwhile, all the sons and daughters of the Heavenly Father who have been getting beat down, being run amok, led astray, the great falling away first,
lied about,
vilified. Now we, for the same people who beat us, hung us, raped us, robbed us, we have to be equal partners and
And give
equal
them rulership.
give them co-rulership, co-everything.
But and when in our punishment and in their rulership, we had no rulership with them.
At the bottom,
none.
at the bottom, hung, raped, beat, pillage,
And we couldn't even be called by our holy names.
That's right.
We're called by the names that they assigned to us.
That's right.
Nah, you just a savage.
That's right.
You just a nigga. You just a beaner.
Fed
You
poison.
just right.
Lies.
You still got the right.
And it says,
Yeah, that brother bring about hold themselves, brother. Hold themselves.
Lions did.
and he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Woo!
And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty power. And
He
he
shall
had,
rule with them with the rod of iron.
it says, it's like, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Right. Now with them, he's going to rule them with the rod of iron.
Exactly.
man.
Right, and you know what? when you think about it, a sword is kind of like a rod of iron, man.
It is.
All right, but go ahead.
It says, jumping down to 16, it says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Right.
And then they had also had those kingly maces.
Yep.
All right, you had a mace that was sometimes half the length of a sword or as long as a sword. All right, and that scepter, and it usually had it had a skull crusher, bone breaker. It was in the form of spikes or different damaging things, and they could actually and if you and some of them were made to break swords, so they were weapons on top of that. So the king held it, and if you cross sword with someone, you could actually break their swords with your scepter, and then you had a sword in your other hand which was not broken. So the Lord is all about war, man.
Yeah.
All right, he's a warrior. All right, that's why you think he set up King David. King David is a warrior king, and guess what? He gonna put him back on the throne.
Yeah.
And he gonna be greater than he was. Hey man, y'all don't have no idea, man, what's happening, man. And the men that was with him. You know, I was just listening to some brothers read about the battle with one of the mighty men with the spear.
He was
800 men.
I died now.
All right.
He was swinging sword and killed 3,000.
You know, come on, man.
With one
and so
swing.
these men are gonna be greater than what they were. Every kung fu movie, well, you think they're Jet Li fighting 1,000 people flying through the air? You know, where do you think all that came from, man? You got some one Chinese dude in the middle of 500 people with a sword, battling everybody, and bodies just dropping everywhere.
And they get this straight out of the
Because that really happened.
Grammarly helps
All
make
right.
your writing clear and concise, no matter where you are. With
Then it
Grammarly
brings
on your
this shit on top of that.
Of course.
Rise, so Lord.
Yaki had some.
Okay, I was trying to go down the line. No, we going down the line, brother. We actually should have went that way, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. This is going back to what you were saying. You know how they plot against how the wicked, the wicked nation of people. But let me read it. This is Psalms 37 and 12.
Man.
You got it? That was it.
Spirit.
That's the spirit. He got a sword and exactly what I said. I didn't even realize he had a sword.
Right.
I just knew he had the scepter.
Arise, Sir Lord of these.
It's Bugs Bunny, man.
And for the sake of copyright, I'm not going to
Right now.
Put the sound on,
I'm
right?
not going to put the sound on just because I don't want them to start something. But I was going to.
The nation's bowing down and taking their lumps.
That's it, exactly. That's what I was thinking, boy.
That looks like a mace or a
That's a mace. It's a scepter, but it's actually a mace.
Yeah.
The scepter is a mace. They're the same thing, right? And it's point blank, period.
He's fucked up.
Thank
I never noticed that the gold did it.
Yes.
That's good artistry.
He said, "Thank you, my lord. You're too kind."
Right.
Right.
They get that straight out the scriptures, man. All right? But go ahead, y'all. Finish it.
I'll read down to 17.
Okay. This is Psalms 37 and 12. It says, "The wicked plotted against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth." We'll get that word plotted, which is zamam, which is devise, plan, purpose, consider, devise an evil intent. All right? This is what they do. Of the wicked devise an evil intent against the just and gnash it upon him with his teeth. And this is what is about to happen, to where he's about to come even more fierce to get to his ultimate agenda of the new world order, the one world government, and really depopulation of the righteous. Right?
God. You know what? Hold that. Play the video. He said it. He set it up. The whole thing about cancel culture, the one at the bottom. Yep, that one. It's only like 41 seconds.
Special for Max Miller. So to be very clear, cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for mass murder. Mass murder. Rehearsal for mass murder. So to be very clear, cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for mass murder. They're seeing if people can be disappeared from social media, and if people accept people being disappeared from social media, then they will accept people being disappeared from the world. When communists get into power and socialists get into power, they kill us. No kidding, no fooling, and our families are lucky to get away. Yeah, we're breaking forward up a cliff. Cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for extermination.
So y'all hear that?
Yeah, listen. They call it
Pause it for a moment. Pause it for a moment. Let them brothers get settled. All right. He said, cancel culture is a dress rehearsal for mass murder. So the removing of the videos, the removing of people off the internet, the removing of channels. That's right. They're getting people used to seeing something and then it's just being gone. So if they can disappear that, they can disappear you. That's what he said. Man. That's heavy. Read what you just read
To
again.
stop them from speaking against the regime.
Exactly. All right, because they don't want their it's like you like the person who keeps revealing their hand in their cards, man. They ready to go play the card and you already calling it. They're like,
well, according to our law in the scriptures, it says not to revile the king. So now they're usurping power as the scriptures say, as one to be as if they're God. So now you coming against the king, who's the king of this world today. They got a problem with you coming against them. They talk about free speech and how that this is America, you have a right to express yourself, blah 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 blah. But as soon as you say anything that any corporation, which is supposed to be in America,
it's just like bringing up the Bible,
yes.
because supposedly America was set up
On
based
the Bible,
upon
yeah,
biblical
that's
principles.
right.
All right, it was set up based upon biblical principles, and now the Bible is becoming an enemy because the Bible is actually, when you start reading the Bible is against the agenda that they're pushing forth. That's why they also demonize in the Bible anyone who believes in it,
Right.
Because they're trying to, and as Timothy warned us, that there will come a time when they would use science falsely so-called to try to supersede facts, truth, and history.
Right. Yep. And they're the wicked that covereth, the truth, with lies. But anyway, back in this Psalms 37:12, it says, the wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. But when here it is, they doing these plots and devising an evil intent, but they're not telling you that their intent is evil, of course, because this is how they're going to come. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 29. It says that after 2 years fully expired, the king, all right, which was an Edomite, sent his chief collector, wicked, right? The wicked sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them.
Right, while they all had spears and swords on their side.
Right.
By the way,
Never mind these swords.
And you remember, once again, that movie is kind of hard to. Gladiator, one of the greatest movies ever made. Yes. When they came to talk to Maximus, and when they're in camp, when we're in camp, we're not armed. And he was like, and he's talking to him, and he looked down, and he's like, Quintus, why are you armed? Like, why are you armed right now? And that's what they're doing, they're armed.
Yep.
Go ahead, brother.
But they're speaking peaceable words.
They're speaking, never mind this sharp two-edged sword that only comes out, that we only wear when we're about to,
With hundreds and hundreds of army men behind them. We're just here. There's nothing to see here.
Right.
We're just here.
Right. Yeah, they use military personnel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why are you using military?
Why the military delivering the wax?
Yeah. Like, what the, And so it says,
Come on, bro.
and spake peaceable words.
Especially over there in Australia, they'll show you what's about to come over here to America. That's the shit that's over there in Australia. You got the military to help to give you the injectable fluids, and that's the same shit that's gonna come over here.
So,
right, and we all saw the video with the Edomite with that seriously scary automatic weapon It looked like it was firing a very large round, much larger than a 5.62. It sounded like it was at least it was a 30, 308.
Hey, armor
7.62. It was something huge.
Armor piercing.
Right. And then he said that was his answer to mandates, man.
Yep.
Right? You got cops all over the country. You've got medical workers all over the country that are walking away from their jobs because they don't. So, and it's not being enforced in the military. Think about that.
One of the governors, he took the blowtorch to the mass and said, "This is what we feel about you, this about them," as he's campaigning to get reelected. You know, so he's going to his future constituents on showing the divisiveness in America today.
And they're showing the whole, and they were showing the whole South as basically the main problem was the South and a few other states. So it's getting ready to be the South again. And guess what? This time there are a bunch of northern states that are joining with the South.
Oh, there's a dude that I think was on TikTok. I think he posted on TikTok. It was one of his social medias. He said, look, when she hit the fan, you know, he said, come up here. It was somewhere northeast. He said, come up here and say, I wish I remember the exact place.
New Hampshire.
It could have been.
They rolled
Maine, all those spots. They ain't fucking with this shit out here.
He said, we got a lot of ex-military people up here.
And a lot of them live out in the woods.
He said, come on up.
And they got.
He gave a free invitation. Come up, hang with us.
My client is talking about moving back to Maine, and all he talked to me was about all these crazy ass white boys and some niggas that's enjoying with him.
Yeah.
That's living all out in the woods in Maine. In cabins and shit, and all they do is hunt, eat bear meat and deer and shit, and collect their guns and waiting for this shit to pop
And
off.
he said it's only one way in.
He said the whole time he was there, all he was doing was thinking about me. Like, God damn, this. You know, he told me, he used to tell me, hey, look, man, I thought you was a little out there, like a little over the edge with some of that shit, but he's like, man, fuck, shit you talking about is real.
Can I finish that?
Yes, sir.
All right, back in this first Maccabees 1:30. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he had failed suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. And so the same thing is going on now. They're speaking peaceable words like it's something for your good, all right? But they're undermining you. And as soon as you give them credence, all right, everyone give them credence now. Boom! Ha! Exactly.
I got a couple for you up that point.
Yeah.
So I'm starting with Daniel 8:25, but I think this prophecy is that actual count. But it applies to Esau today since I'm old. This Daniel 8:25, and through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken with thy hand. And the point of it is, by peace he shall destroy many. That's how Esau comes, like it says in Psalms. His words were smoother than butter, but it was drawn swords, man. That's why 1 Thessalonians 5 says what, man? When they say peace and safety, there's some destruction coming, man. So they tell them we got this help, we got this help, we got this help. Isaiah 30 already tells us, Isaiah 31, it tells us he that hopeth shall both fail together. All right, we got to let go of this place. That's why this second.
And I just want to say real quick, and if you come against them and tell the truth, then now because they control the media and they control, all these things to get out info and so-called news to you and everything. The narrative.
And if it's not coming from them, then it's just misinformation.
Disinformation. Yeah. And then we're gonna be the cults and the hate groups and the worst people in all of the world because we're exposing their agenda. We're exposing their plots and their plans. All right, and that is
Vanessa and part of their narrative. We're really the culprit.
That's it.
This is Wisdom of Solomon too, and 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because it is not for our turn. And he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. So they ready. They like, look, we gotta go against them. All right, they set up. They speaking against them. We gotta take them down.
Exactly, and this is perfect. What you just said perfect lines this up, so that we don't get any strikes or lose any channels or any videos. We're not gonna speak. We're gonna just allow the video that they left on, that they put on YouTube, allowed to be up to speak for us. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to add. We're just going to let him speak, because he's going to say it, and then we're just going to move on. And
I'm not saying COVID's not dangerous.
Hold on, we have some more scriptures over there. Who was next with a precept? I have it, all right. And I know we have some over here, so I just wanted to go move around. All right. Oh, okay. Oh,
All
you
right,
stole your scripture.
Yeah.
So this that light skin,
Well,
dark skin
that's
thing. We need deliverance, boy.
Well,
All right.
Hey, but that's that 2 Ezra 6:10, you know, it says they shall feed them that are idle with things offered unto idols, man. So you're not in his truth, you're not doing his work, you're sitting there idle. And Esau is giving you things offered unto idols, man, meaning you're not worshiping the creator. You are worshiping Esau Edom at this point. All right? And he's solidifying. You fucking with me or you rocking with the Lord? And you people are going with Esau.
You're right. You're right. That's damn. That's the nail on the head.
You said that. This Sirach 14:7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness, man.
Oh, and perfect still lines it up.
Yep.
Let it play. We don't have to say anything. He's gonna say it for us. But as a matter of fact, he's not even gonna say it. He's just gonna read what the CDC said.
Look, I'm not saying COVID's not dangerous or anything like that, but someone is going to have to explain this to me. So all the talk right now is around the Delta variant, like how dangerous it is and how most of the people that are getting infected right now, they're getting the Delta variant. But how do you know that? There's no test for the Delta variant. I mean, just look at the ridiculousness of this language here. There is not a specific test for the Delta variant. However, since the vast majority of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. are the Delta variant, stop right there. If there's no test for the Delta variant, how do you know the vast majority of the cases are the Delta variant? That whole paragraph makes no sense. The government is saying there's no test for it, but they're saying that the majority of people who have COVID have the Delta variant. How? How in the fuck are we allowing the government to tell us that we have something they can't even test for? And again, I'm not saying COVID's not serious, but we don't even have a test. Look, I'm not saying COVID.
I got a precept. It's Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. They're poison like the serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming ever so wisely. So this devil is all about lies. He's never going to listen to the truth. He's never going to accept it, man. In fact, he's ready to come against us for speaking the truth. Man.
Yeah. That's how the devil operate, man. When you don't get his way, the little stupid witchcraft ain't working. Then he'll show his horns.
And he throws a fit.
He throws a fit like a big ass kid.
Yeah, big ass kid, and that's exactly where we are. He's to that point to where he's about to do exactly that. He's about to throw a fit and use his military. Hold on, brother. They've been waiting. Let's let these brothers bring these out.
Yeah, if I can say what you guys were, touch on what you guys were saying, this man, he's never changed that way of operating, man. When he got here into the Americas, the same thing he did, that cancel culture on the Native Americans, on the natives of the Americas. He went back to Europe and said, "Oh, these are savages. These are."
Well, first he said they were so great, muscular, handsome, giving, people. They were wonderful people. And then when he saw the gold, he was like, "Wait a minute, let me rewrite this."
Yeah.
Right.
Now where he wanted his way. So when he wants his way, he's not above going through dirty means to get it, But when Jake was talking about the enemies, these nations are the enemies, man. This is 1 Corinthians 15:24. It says, "Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God." And he is talking about his son, Yahushua. It says, "Even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign till he has put all enemies under his feet." So right now, the enemies are the people that are in power, man. The people that are in authority, because they're not pushing forth the vibration of the Heavenly Father, man. This is backward. This is backward assness, man.
And just because that, now they're gonna come down on us because they see what the blessing approaching for Israel. That's really what it goes back to. They see the blessing coming. The blessing's coming quick.
It's the Revelations 12.
Right. This is Philippians 1:27. It says, "Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Yahushua, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit. And this is the spirit we're supposed to stand fast in against them, with one mind striving together for the faith of the gospel. That's the point, verse 28. And in nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation and that of the Most High. So all the things taking place on earth, us waking up, all right, us coming back to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai, our people waking up, that signifies their destruction and the coming of our blessing, man. And that's why they're going to come down, Revelation 12 and 12, with great wrath.
Because no, you have the short time.
Right.
Because who wants to get out of the power seat?
Right.
Nobody wants to give up and say, you know what? I mean, as King David, they had to tell King David, you gotta, please don't, you gotta stop fighting. Because King David was such a warrior, he was so used to fighting. When he started getting older in his age, to where he started losing some of his skills, not because he lost his skills, but through age, they had to say, King David, you can't go out and fight no more.
Right.
You know
When you go out there and destroy whole troops of men, and then you having a hard time with two.
Right.
You know, it's like, no, it's time to pull them back.
And Sirach, it talks about how because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Somebody found out how much the truth is.
It's translated from one people to another. And so when the kingdom get translated from one nation of people to another nation of people, it's always with Jeremiah 28:8. It said that's when the prophets come and prophesy of the downfall of the kingdom, from one nation of people to another nation of people. That's why it says the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both of many countries of war and of great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. That's because that particular nation didn't want to go down, and then the other nation, had the wars, all right, for the transition of power, all right, and it's no difference right now. That transition of power is happening from Esau, the wicked nation of people being in rulership, to Jacob, the righteous people being in rulership, and there is always an elite of a nation. All right, that's why in that Psalms how it says that when the Lord comes, that we're gonna put in shackles the princes, the kings, the elites of these heathen nations. They're gonna go right into slavery. All right, but you also have the elite of the nation of Israel, which is known as the elect. That's right, the governing body, first and foremost, the 144 of that said elect. And the 144 and the rest of the 1/3 is coming into this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding now, which is a direct threat to Esau and their rulership. And so, of course, they're going to come against us who has this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, who's proclaiming it, who's living it. All right, they're going to come against us and plot against us and say all manner of evil against us, even though their intent is the evil one.
That's it. And they know there's no threat. But the threat is that.
Yeah, physically they know we're not a threat.
That's it.
They know that.
Because I got this real quick. This Revelation 12 and 17. It says, and the dragon was walked with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And that woman represents Israel. This talking about the elect of Israel. And the dragon represents Esau. Yep. It's saying the dragon was walked with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, had a testimony of Yahweh Shai.
That's it. Because like the elder was saying, no one wants to come down from power.
And then vice versa. It goes both ways. Somebody who's enslaved don't want to be enslaved. They won't get out of it.
Exactly.
Well, it's like Zechariah says, it's that ephod when it was two women that were striving. One was the daughter of Edom, and the other was the daughter of Jerusalem. It's that heavy ephod, and you're passing the blessing, and you're passing the curse, man. Nobody wants that curse, but we all want that blessing.
Yep.
I got one. This is Isaiah. Speak up. This is Isaiah 45 and 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. Loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection. For the multitude of the sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantment. Esau's whole thing is about his enchantment. Okay, that's what he done hid behind.
Yep.
That's what he done used to bamboozle the entire planet.
Yep.
And sold the snake oil, as they say.
Yep.
Okay. What thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. And that was their thing, you know, that was the Illuminati's motherfucking code, you know.
Yeah, they got a God complex.
Exactly. You got a God complex, and you can't tell. Like I said, I got into an argument with some old Jake in the currency exchange because, you know, for the people that know about the Illuminati, we speak about it outwardly. And he was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you can see it all over. Don't get mad because you're a Mason and all your shit is out here in the street now. You know, it's been exposed and whatnot. And you ain't a high up Mason. You one of them peons, you know. Exactly. You ain't a
he the Mason that don't even get to go to the bunker. When all the Masons go to the bunker, they close the door on his ass. Stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, you watch. You're not the killer in the water. You the motherfucking amoeba that the motherfucking whale comes along and swallow up. You ain't shit to them.
They let their cleaning staff in before they let him in.
Exactly. What thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, thou seest me, thy wickedness, thy wisdom, and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee. So now, all the wickedness that they've done over this world, now that it's being exposed, they think that they're supposed to get the pass. So now they don't want to deal with critical race history or any of this stuff. Right. Now they want to say, well, can we say that you all volunteered for this slavery? That y'all was indentured servants and y'all want to just come here and do this? Because our children are crying the blues because our history is being taught, and now they see that they the bad guys and nobody like us anymore.
Hey, Pops.
Well, since the social media and they put all that shit on blast. All right.
Boom.
I was at the spot, one of the spots and shit, bouncing last night. Some old Edomite walked out and shit and just looked at me. And I'm like, you know, I can look at you and say, what the fuck is you looking at without even saying it? You know, so I'm just looking at him and shit. So, like, man, I really don't want to disrespect you, man. I'm a tall, goofy Edomite. He said, but man, it's good to see black guys working here, man. I said, what the fuck? Look. He said, no, it's not like that. You just have so much to do with damn near in tears, man. He was really in tears. He said, I just have so much white guilt. It's a shame, man. And you might not understand. I said, man, you have no clue how much I understand. He just cried, man, and ran across the street and ran to his crib like fucking Dawson Creek theme song was playing, man.
Like Red.
Yeah, that shit was bugged out, man. He said, I just have so much white guilt, man.
I'm out, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
They were crying of an ungodly father.
That shit gave me a thrill, and it was the Sabbath.
Yep. They shall seek to please the poor God.
Yeah, because in the spirit they know that they're through. And they see, you know, and they see all the stuff on the internet, how because you know I see a whole bunch of sellout nigga women running around with Esau. I'm just saying a lot, lady, but it's way more Becky with Jake than it is with nigga women with them. And all they doing is all they gonna do is get all the problems
that we don't want.
That we don't fucking want.
I said, look,
and they gonna find out the hard way. And the funny thing is too, man, because I saw this thick, curvaceous ass nigga woman with an Edomite today, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, and when I walk down the street, when they were coming down the street at me, I walked right to the middle to divide them. All right, and before, I'm coming right down the street, right at them. All right, but they stepped way off and just let me have it. Just before I went to the spot.
I'm so happy you went to the spot. But look, so like I was gonna say real quick. Now we was in the spot and wasn't nobody in there. It's me, a brother, and 4 white women. I said, this is what the fuck should happen right now.
Mind you, the spot I took you to. That's the spot.
I say, look, this is what the fuck should happen right now. And all these chicks bartenders, so they count their money. I said, really, We know y'all don't like these bitch ass niggas, referring to the white man. You know I'm reckless. I'm like, look, this was happening. All them should take the black woman. They deserve that bullshit. We deserve the white woman. That bitch stood up. She said, I'm just totally in agreement with this.
Damn.
That's what should happen. The bitch stood up. She looked at the other bitches and looked at the brother and looked at me. She said, I'm in total agreement with this.
That's what I'm talking about.
This what should happen, man. This world is profound.
This is Job 27:15.
Brother, that's the spirit. I stopped the call.
Let's go.
This is Job 27:15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep.
Word.
There it is, man.
Widow shall not weep. That's sweet white meat.
His widow shall not weep, man. And they don't understand. It's not the desire to have the Edomite woman.
It's the kingly thing
It's
to
the
do.
kingly fucking thing.
I hate Edomite bitches, but I'll still
Exactly.
because I'm
Say
a
right,
king.
because it's your
I
kingly
know
right.
Edomite.
Right.
Like,
Castle
that's
Stella.
Because you gotta understand, man. You could, for anybody who against that, you just need to go back and rewatch Uncle Tom.
You don't want to fuck with Edomite hoes you pouring off.
Hey, Dr. Doom, what did he say? He said, look over the rocks. That beautiful girl. Come here, my child. That bitch jumped off, killed herself, man.
Oh, go there.
Yeah, go there. Dr. Doom, he made that bitch kill herself, man. That nigga had nothing but Edomite.
And then he
bitches.
said, that is power.
Yeah, he said, now
was
that
like, your
is power.
sword. What is the power of your sword?
Yeah.
Against the hand that wields.
The hands that wow, right? Oh, that's spiritual.
That's with shit.
That's the Isaiah 10.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it says the acts that
Acts boasted against him that you were there with.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just asked him about it.
This is Deuteronomy 11 and 24. Every place wherein the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even into the uttermost sea, shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he has said unto you. All these bitches, all these lands,
all these
everything's are ours. It's ours. It ain't even. It's even greater than that. It's our shit. I want the motherfucking heathen because y'all mine, motherfucker. I want the goddamn sun, the moon, the stars, the trees, the birds, the bees, because it's ours. The Most High gave it to us, man. So you got a motherfucking Chinese bitch, you're mine. You got a fucking East Indian bitch, you're mine. You got a motherfucking
brother, you gotta share some of them bitches.
But you know that. But that's it. And then you know what we do? We do that because none of us is motherfucking selfish, man. No, we.
I like curry.
But it's art, and the brother's right, it's art. Matter of fact, we were sitting there at the camp the other day, and what I saw a young woman walk across the street and so forth. The elder Quran wasn't even looking at the bitch, and the spirit saying, "That's for Quran." And then I saw brothers looking. I said, "Nah, don't worry about it. That's for Quran." We the gods, man. This is our shit. Everything on this planet, everything in all existence was the Most High made for His sons, man.
For our sake.
For our sake.
Salaki, man. I the spirit, man. Every scripture I get ready to call for, brother already got it, man. He got it. And since somebody gets Psalms 2 and 8 too.
I already got it.
I already got it.
Zero. You can't make this up. The simplicity. It's cool.
Go ahead, who got it, brother? What you waiting for?
I got some cut up by the volume red. All right, second after 6 and shit. Second after. All right.
Hey, somebody real quick, Salaki, brother, Salaki.
You guys should have
Salaki. No, it's brother.
No, I'm seeing somebody going back and forth. I actually started looking at it.
Yeah, and that's the brother that brought us some attention. And just for the record, we are here, and you can always ask the class, even if it's off topic. If it's too off topic, the spirit might have us answer it or not, or maybe do something. But the brother, I guess, Third World, 144,000, was trying to ask a question. And Kazak, if this is a class, why are you tweaking about asking questions to the teachers? And the brother said, Khan, this is not pertaining to class. You can leave a comment on the video. Brother, we really don't mind either way. The Bible says, do all things decently in order. If you have a question, you can put it up. If we get to it, it's because we see it and the Spirit have us get to it. If the Spirit don't, then we'll be like, oh, shit. And then we'll do another let's sit down.
So what's the brother's question?
But I wouldn't call that a tweak. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't tweaking because he, you know,
He established the order.
yeah, that's just establishing
Yeah,
order.
and then the brother Kazak Banya Howard is a diligent brother, man.
He on here every week.
He on on all the videos, man.
He don't sleep.
So basically, so the brother, that's a righteous brother, man. And he offended like they on the topic and you on something else, man. So I agree with him to a certain extent. It's like, hey, leave the question on the comment board, and if the Spirit bring it out, it'll bring it out, man.
So post up your question, brother.
It was about
No, he posted it already.
Okay, I got it.
So go to the question. Now we gonna deal with it.
Yeah. But my whole point was that, you know, hey, we all brothers here. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got, you know, even though he came stern and saying, hey, we in this particular class and we're on this particular topic, and hey, you know, just listen and get edified right now and build on this particular topic.
Now I just think I just read it and I kind of see why why the brother said what he said.
Right. But then to you know, he replied saying something about why you tweaking. Nah, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying with each other. You know.
Can I say
one thing?
No, I saw something about Planet X.
Just one thing.
Yeah, man. You know, he may just be kind of tweaking, man. Leave that comment on the comment board, and you know, and if the Spirit, because right now I'm gonna just be honest with you, the Spirit ain't don't need to talking about Planet X, man. You know, you ain't gonna find that in the scripture.
Right, Wisdom of Solomon says, with diligence we search things on earth.
Right.
We don't. What's for the Planet X? We don't know, man.
Hey, you know what? I might have to be in league with the brother Kazak Banya Howard on this one, brother. You just leave that comment. You know, on you can put that on any video, and eventually we'll get to it, brother.
Right.
All right. But but ain't no scriptures talking about Planet X, man.
Right.
All you need to worry about is that Yahweh Shai is coming, and there may be a gigantic chariot out there that they probably could be calling Planet X. You know, we don't know. We know that our Lord is coming, and He's coming on a gigantic chariot that you won't be able to see from one end to the other.
The simplicity of Yahweh Shai, man. That's what we preach.
In Hebrews, worry about things, roughly paraphrasing.
Pertaining to salvation, brother. So Planet X ain't pertaining. We're speaking about things. No, brother, I'm in complete agreement with the brother.
No, the brother, looking over the matter. This is what we do. First of all, we were already in the Spirit. We was on the whole in the Spirit. But
He broke the Spirit, actually.
What
you did with this Planet X thing.
Right. And the brother Yak pointed out to me, which I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention. And then it's so forth. But this is just a lesson for even the brothers on the comment board, the brothers watching and so forth. No, if you have something that's not to the topic, you put that on the comment board and Lord willing.
You could even say off topic.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
If you can get to it.
Right.
You know?
If.
Just don't come glad. So, no, man, Kazaki Howard was in the right spirit.
That's it. He was on point.
Hey, the scripture says, Sirach, you know, think not of things too hard for thee, but that which is commanded to thee.
Yeah, because you best believe, man. If one of the heads, or one of the top elders, one of the top apostles, you know, was doing a live stream, and they want a specific topic, man, I'm not gonna come with some off the wall shit. I wouldn't do that.
If I may.
Chris Brown spirit.
No, just pertaining to what you brothers were saying. This is Sirach 5, verse 12. It says, "If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth."
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because I remember even this brother. He said he had a dream. I always remember that video. No, yeah, you say you had a dream about something. You said it's great power and shush. It's just it's shutting the fuck up, man. Sometimes you just learn better, man. And they say that's how you actually gain respect. Be the last to talk.
It's a lot of scriptures.
It says if you love understanding, like in the Apocrypha, it says if you love to hear, then you receive understanding. And basically, the main objective is listen all the time.
Because how can you hear if you running your goddamn mouth?
No, I got a quick one real quick. Now, there's nothing wrong with questions and being edified, but the scriptures also say this is within balance. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 22:6. A tale out of season is as music in mourning.
There's that. We want to hear that.
Right.
You at the party, you hearing, oh my baby. It's like, I'm trying to party and shit. I'm hearing the funeral dirge.
Or like you mourning and then you hearing
happy birthday.
Too Loud Crew or something, you know what I'm saying?
Too Loud Crew.
Right,
That's
right.
a perfect analogy.
You know what I'm saying? And you sitting up here mourning and stuff. So it says a tale out of season. All right. So even the question out of season, all right, is as music in mourning. Yep.
But see, but the Spirit ain't still had us to dwell with that because we are the prophets and we actually deal. So the water to you, Brother Kazak, for putting the judgment, and hopefully whoever it was that was asking the question, if you offended, then you might not be wrong.
But hopefully he edified.
And
Well, hopefully he edified.
Hopefully he's doing it in the right way, because you know what it says that you get pricked, and it's supposed to be for your
Well,
humility.
it's
You
nothing
feel
wrong
dumb.
with getting corrected, man. You know, it's not a personal thing like we're trying to offend you, brother. But you know, that was some sideways, and I'm telling you how to do it. Next time you have a question that's completely out of pocket or so off topic, you just even put off topic, and then bam, and man, ain't nobody the question will get answered, man. Somebody will deal with it, man.
You never know. Someone on the comment board might see that and say, "Damn, it's off topic." Hey, and say, and at you on the side, say, "Hey, this is the answer to your question," and let while the main topic and the main people continue with the main lesson. You don't know what the Spirit would do. But who are you? Just be in line with the Spirit, man.
Hey,
Just watch the
Proverbs
Spirit, man.
27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love.
That's
Man, that
right.
brother on point, man.
Hey, I know that.
I deal with
Me
this
too.
brother, man.
But the brother's faithful and on all our shows, bro. I fucks with the brother.
No, I've seen him pop up on other brothers' shows.
Me too. I know.
That brother be on it.
As a matter of fact, once our live was done, I had went directly to somebody else's live, and then here it is. He was on there leaving scriptures. I was like, and I counted it to him. I'm like, oh, brother, boy, you on every live. Bro. I was like, man, you stay in the spirit.
For the record, though, real quick point on the scripture. For the record, I mean, the brother only posted the question twice. He didn't say nothing else, man, because I did rebuke him for no reason. If you says a proof that's not coming. This conversation would happen if Kazak didn't make it an issue with him either. So both parties really should just let the shit go. Now we have to sidetrack to do this, man. It's a proof that's not coming.
Yep.
Now Yaki had to say something because you said the brother Kazak was tweaking, which he's not tweaking.
Right.
But at the same time, Kazak didn't have to even address the question, you know. Shit. That's also off topic of the lesson, you know. It really matter.
I got a scripture.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Sirach 20:7. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity.
That goes both ways.
Right? But a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
All right.
There you go.
Whoopsie.
Right on time.
The way I see it, though, brother, it broke the spirit of what we were doing.
Definitely.
So,
I asked this question in scripture, John 14:2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I would go prepare a place. So there's many planets throughout the solar system, man. They discover a new planet every day.
there you go, brother.
All right.
So he just gave you, man. They discover a new planet every day, man. In the Lord's house, there are many mansions.
We just worried about ruling them.
Right.
Facts.
The Lord said, right. And so we get to go to those planets, man. And guess what? Ain't none of them gonna be called X. The Esau's names don't stand. Right. Anything he's named is gonna be renamed properly or go back to its original name. All right. Gog and Magog is gonna be called Gog and Magog again. All right. Everything is gonna go back to the way it was, man. Moab is gonna be Moab, not the Chinese.
Right.
Ammon is gonna be Ammon, not the Japanese. Esau gonna be motherfucking Esau, not white, and not white people.
But they had that Edom land.
All right. And they go right.
When you
Well,
say
actually,
that nigga's
Esau gonna be all over the place serving slavery.
And that's the
They
point.
don't get to have the land of Edom. That's gonna be given to Judah.
Hey, well, the scripture say, and he gonna get double what he did to us.
He ain't gonna even own the pit that he's gonna be having to see.
He's not gonna be known.
He
This
gonna
is
get.
not a son, no nephew, man.
He gonna-
Eventually, PTO, he's gonna be that. He's gonna be eliminated, man. But as far as that, like, you know, don't venture far out from beyond the scriptures. We know we just ready we just ready for what the Lord's about to be ready for, which is to conquer, man. And then, hey, he didn't say nothing about no Planet X. He didn't say nothing else. He just said, hey, the first thing that you need to be ready to rule over is what the Lord gave you, which is the talent. First, you got to rule over this body.
Do this.
Through the Spirit. That's it. That's what the Lord gave us the power to rule over. He gave you the power to rule over this fucking body. Outside of this body, you really ain't got shit else.
Good, right?
I know that.
Go ahead, brother.
Damn.
No.
I know, but that's all of us, bro.
Yeah.
That's all of us, man. We are the real men of the Lord. We gotta practice what we preach. We gotta live up to what we teach and the scriptures, man. That's from the rooter to the tutor.
It starts with the teaching. James said a man can bridle his tongue, he can rule his whole body. It starts with this word.
Mm-hmm. You know how many dudes got beat down in the street over a comment when they could have said something else or just not said nothing at all?
Yep.
Spit on the phone.
That's right. And see, and this is actually all part of the lesson. The lesson is prepare for the worst. There's about to be a whole bunch of hell on earth coming right now.
Yeah.
If you don't bridle your fucking tongue, you can sit there and act like you could have done right now versus what you can do when the green tree is dry. It's gonna be another world, man. And it's the people.
And the green tree is literally dry.
Right. As
Benji sent me the video of some Edomite speaking about what I've been talking about all summer. He was talking about how the leaves are already dying and how she looked it up and the condition a lot of the leaves is not supposed to be like this until the middle or end of October. All right.
The whole shit's fucked up.
Everything's fucked up.
The weather
man.
patterns are. Matter of fact, it's significantly cooler than what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. Not to mention the overwhelmingly drought that's going on the west and southwest coast. Right now, they're saying that over 50 to 60, 70% of the food that normally would come out of those areas is going to be short.
They already got hit with floods a couple of years back.
That's right.
They were already short on everything.
So now it's short on top of a short on top of a short.
Plus, you got all the ships that are backed up in the different places
Keep it
because of safety issues, which is all bullshit. As a matter of fact, bring up the last video.
They try to hit the truckers with the wax. They don't. A lot of them don't want to take it either.
Well, that's the spirit. The last video, the cops. All right. So you got law enforcement and medical staff that are saying no to Vanessa. All right. I think this was about 2 minutes long. But let it play. Possible shot. For anybody who haven't seen it or heard it.
This is Dabu 7. We have a situation arising across the globe, but here in this country, we're seeing things unravel a little bit differently than in other countries. Now, we have different states in this country, and every state kind of acting like its own little mini country here with different laws, different things in the books, different viewpoints. And when it comes to these vaccine passports, we've seen moves made in some states to go one way and in other states to go the other. San Francisco, California, it's been at the top of the list when talking about a lot of these things. Well, San Francisco and 160 sheriffs deputies, threatening to resign due to the mandatory COVID-19 vaccine. So this is the situation in just this one area. So when you take a step back and you try to see the bigger picture and see this large scale, boy, oh boy.
That creates the vaccine.
So just one area here, San Francisco, seeing 160 some sheriff's deputies making a statement. And we see similar things like this happening in other cities. Not only, like I said, in this country, but across the globe. So where this will go from here, we don't know. As I said before, you're going to have to sit here and take a good look around you and see what's happening with the mindset around you where you live. Okay? In this instance, we're going to see a lot of these guys leave. If they're told to take the vaccine, they're going to opt for early retirement or seek employment elsewhere, is what they're doing. We're going to expand on this in the next live stream and everything else that's going on. I can talk about it free on DLive, going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's where the gloves come off. when we dive into all this stuff that's getting censored on all these other platforms. I hope to see you there.
You can pause it right there. One of my students, he's a nurse at a little company in Marion. He's a nurse there. My mother left us there. All right, but he told me 2 months ago that they told him that he would have to get Vanessa to keep his job. And he also told me that he didn't want to get it, and that he wasn't alone with many of his co-workers. So it's not just law enforcement; it's medical staff as well. So when you got medical staff that are saying, but you'll never hear that in the media though. Exactly. The media always finds some sellout. You know, there was a comedy skit that I used in a video when the dude mentioned, "Hey, I found a doctor that'll give you the numbers and the data that you want." You know,
Just seen it.
You remember when Martin, when the dude said, "I know a guy that can make one of them DNA tests come out any way you wanted to." The Israelis admitted that DNA can be altered and played with, and they can write.
Bill Gates, he had that book, How to Lie with Statistics.
So there it is.
Wow.
So there it is, man. And that's what they always talk about. What the data says, well, who's in control of this data, and how do we cross-check this data? And so he likes to use scenarios, and he likes to use a situation and that, or a scenario within a situation that just can't be cross-checked. Because if I want to change some policy and make some shit happen, all I got to do is say, "Oh, we got hacked." I say, "Oh, well, so could you please provide the proof of who hacked his eye?" Well, it's a national security. But fuck out of here. They love using things where they can just hide behind and not have to provide proof of it. And then all it's to do is so that they can change, rearrange policy to fit their agenda. And they do this over and over again. And you dumbass, motherfucking, stupid ass, fucking Americans, you stupid sheeple, farts. Excuse my vulgarity and my French, my German. All right, but it's true. You people are not the home of the brave. You are the home as a dumb as fuck, and you're a bunch of cowards because the other nations of the world, they riding and fighting for their rights, and you fucking Americans, y'all fucking pussies. Whoa. Y'all fucking pussies. These other nations, man, they lighten shit up, man.
When they were talking about the land of the free and the home of the brave, they were talking about the Gadites. Because that's when the land was, when it was first free. When you come down here, you can live off the land. The Braves, they even represented as different teams to talk about the Gadites. But this is not that anymore. The Lord's just about to destroy this motherfucking place.
I got a reset for you.
This is the home of the cowards and the oppressed, and many of you are oppressed, and that's the thing about Americans. They've been oppressed so long they don't even realize that they the animals in the zoo. They don't even realize they're the fucking animals in the zoo. Animals in the zoo are at straight fucking slavery captivity, and they gotta fucking perform, just like animals in the circus. You ain't fucking free. They chain you up every night. You behind a fucking gate. I stopped by the zoo because I got a client, and that's one of the things I do is I ride the bike with him. I leave him in the dust every damn time, and we ride through Lincoln Park. We hit all the hills. All right, then we do an outdoor workout, all right, and sometimes we'll stop by the zoo to use the bathroom. And I walk by the exotic birds, and you got a big ass net over it. Yeah. So they can only fly from branch to branch. They can't fly, And then right in my neighborhood, I got giant parrots that's been adjusted to big ass parrots.
Oh, they got big out there now?
They big as fuck. You seen them lately?
I remember they used small motherfuckers.
They big as fucking pigeons, bigger than pigeons, man. They big. Damn. And it's a whole flocks of them, and they just live free. And these are tropical birds that have adjusted to. They survive the winters and everything, and they just basically just some hood ass.
That's that second
parrots now. and then they gangster because they gangster all the other birds, man.
I knew what you were talking about when you said that years ago. The little green parakeets that
somebody let them free. They was actually parrots. They big. I don't think parakeets get that big.
Right.
These things are about a good foot long.
Yeah,
That's how you know with the end. It says the wild beast should change their places.
God.
And this woman, you know, she just posted on here. She said,
Jewelers. I saw it.
yeah, I got a thing, but it says Salakia, I'm a nurse. They haven't mandated it for my job yet, but the 2 local hospitals here in Upper Florida were mandated to get it by the end of next month or else. So they really pushing this shit.
There it is.
Yeah, massive
So if that's being mandated, what's that mean is that because if this thing was really the way they said it was, that's evidence in itself.
Yeah.
All right, the water system, that's evidence in itself because what that's proven is that if it really was real, all the staff would already have it. If you got a mandate some shit in a fucking hospital, why are they not taking it? Because they fucking know. They're friends with the doctors and the scientists, and all this information is being
behind the scenes
transferred back and forth between them, man. And they friends in high places are telling them, hey, don't do that.
Now I got a precept if I may. This is Habakkuk 1:14. And make his men as fishes of the sea and creeping things that have no ruler over them. So, hey, what Esau is doing is just making you all a bunch of lab rats.
And that's evidence in itself. When you have to mandate in a hospital, your medical workers in a hospital to take Vanessa, something ain't right. When the medical staff is like, shit, we ain't doing that.
Because the medical staff, if they're interacting with that, they want the best protection as they interact with those people to begin with.
It's been nurses that because you know the Vanessa, they gotta set a certain temperature except for Novio, which hopefully they go ahead and get Novio socks up, help me out. Anyway, the other ones got to stay super cold, man.
Right.
And there was nurses that was taking them out, destroying the vials, man, letting them be contaminated. They got
a couple of them got in trouble for it. So there it is, man. Yeah, I remember. Some nurse got in trouble because for doing that last year. I remember now.
They messed around and said, well, they expanded the time frame of it being still good and whatnot, and tried to get those doses out anyway.
Right. I remember first they said you're supposed to mix different brand of.
And then they started doing that shit too.
Then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can mix them now. Like,
well, it was the actual.
It's like that old ass chicken when you go in there. Here, I don't want that shit, but I'm selling it.
It was an actual nurse who came out. I think it was on TikTok, and he was like, "Don't believe the hype. It's not the unwatered that's in the hospital.
It's the
it's
the double Vanessinated.
Yeah, he said
those are the ones that's the truth. And they, like I said, TikTok fucking them up.
And TikTok going crazy.
TikTok going to because they TikTok don't have the same guidelines over that you know, Amalek get their hands on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and shit like that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think TikTok maybe ran out of China.
It is China.
So China like, no, let that shit go. So let it because it's fucking them up, man. Because don't think China is Moab is at war with Esau, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they at war with Esau.
Hey, they still remember their gold that they never got back.
You know.
And this is
so I'm sure you know Moab is sitting back enjoying all the turmoil that his little busted and Bugs Bunny shit and all that other bullshit. You know that some people watch it for, and now the truth is coming out on TikTok, man.
TikTok.
Yeah, because it's real quick. This actually reminds me of I was doing some research, and when they started first with the nuclear tests, it was something with the United States government, Kodak, how they found out how the nukes, all that was being exploded in Nevada, was affecting people in New York. The radiation that was it got up, the fallout went across the whole country. So what ended up happening is they got with these other companies, they got with Kodak and was like, look, we're just gonna cut you a deal. We're gonna let you know why you banned, but just don't sue us. We don't want this to go public.
Well, it's just
and that's
like,
pretty much
Look, I had a dumbass bitch, and that's exactly what the fuck she is. She's a dummy. She's complaining about her ex. He's got a new boyfriend, and he's got a new girlfriend, and she kind of looks like me, but not as cute, and she's not as smart. But I'm like, but I'm like, bitch, you double Vanessated, you know. So she's definitely smarter than you, and because she didn't do it. But nevertheless, she started talking about damn, that was a point to this, and now it just left me. It was something you said that made me bring it out.
You was talking about the nuclear fallout that was.
Oh, right. Yeah. Now I remember the water, brother. The point being is that you give these people the answers, so and they still get it wrong. It's like it's just like when we do our videos. We give them history, we give them scriptures, we give them solid, concrete evidence of certain things, and they still have a but or I feel. Nevertheless, I gave it a whole breakdown of the history of J.D. Rockefeller. And what J.D. Rockefeller did was J.D. Rockefeller donated millions of dollars in the 1920s or 30s, I forget which time frame, to the AMA, all right, the American Medical Association. Now, the deal was, now that you done took all this money, so remember that, he who controls the money, all right? Right, so what did the AMA have to do? What they had to do was they had to remove from their medical books anything about natural healing, oils, you know, whatever, different herbs, and anything that had to do with diet and eating right, et cetera, and push, because what was J.D. Rockefeller? He was an oil monger.
Yep.
And they started using petroleum-based medicines. As soon as those petroleum-based medicines, as soon as the evidence came out that proved that petroleum-based medicines, all right, were making people sick, because all the doctors that were doing all the holistic and natural and stuff like that, or doing traditional doctor shit, you know, that have been using different, you know, foods and techniques that they have been used and known in the world for thousands of years that actually heal people and cure people, like some of the remedies that are written in the Bible. They got labeled as quacks. Many of them also got their licenses taken and got put in jail for doing so. And when the evidence that the petroleum-based medicine, when the evidence that the people were getting cancer from it, what did this devil do? This deceiver then went and created, funded the American Cancer Association. So now the American Cancer Association is the authority on cancer, but who funded it? So the same, and what else had he done in that period of time? He also had bought out many of the media. So he covered all his bases. So if I own the media, hey, look, you're not gonna talk about this. You're not gonna post this story. You're not gonna post this information. All right. Oh, you here at the Cancer Association, you are not going to you're not going to reveal this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you money for research. You're just gonna waste money on research after research after research and come up with a new drug. So these people do not give a fuck about. Look, you so-called white people. This is to you, you Edomites. Your own people do not give a fuck about you. Right? The only thing that they ever gave you was the false narrative that you're white when you're really red and you're the Edomites. All right? And that whiteness that you have used to get to the head of the line, to ride the escalator up where everybody had to walk, it's run out. On a global fucking scale, man. Time. It's a wrap. It's over, man. Give me that First Thessalonians, man, and then we gonna whatever y'all got, we gonna get ready to wrap it
But you get that 2 Corinthians 2:11.
Go ahead.
Least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we know the different mechanisms, different route that he takes to have our people fall in those traps. In Thessalonians, what it said is this man with lying wonders. That it says miracles and miracles. That's what he equivalates modern science to. So you'd be stupid to go against modern science or those so-called medical miracles when he himself can't explain them. All right, what the word miracle in itself means an act of God, which sometimes when these people get healed, they can't even explain, but they can give you a whole spiel about how they their hypothesis about how this came to be, which that science fights me so cold.
Yeah, because what they did, they switched the petroleum-based medicine that's based with soft metals. This was in a lot of the shots you get. That's why it says in the Rockefellers are going to destroy us with soft metals. So it's a whole agenda that's coming to an end. It's not going to really go anywhere.
They got mercury in it.
And now that you said that, I'm reading the original Jewess again. She said, Salakia, my mother-in-law had both Vanessa Nations and is very ill right now. She had it 2 months ago. A few Jakes at my job had it too and got very sick at a later time. So that's who really is getting sick. This, and the media is putting the twist on it. They're saying that this is a illness of the or rampage through the unwatered people. When the truth is that it's the people who took the double waters who are the ones spreading and getting sick. Because the same thing happened in my demon's job. All right, the cop in the desk behind her, he was double vaccinated, and he came down with whatever. All right. Okay.
That sheriff of Mississippi, he had the Johnson Vanessa, and he still died from the.
He had a double tap too. So the narrative is falling apart. So he is just going to be forced to just use his sword soon enough. All right, that's where he's coming, and that's what he's preparing for. That's why all these UN vehicles are here, and all these soldiers, and all this movement that we saw the last couple of years. They didn't move all that military hardware all around the country to strategize it. They didn't do that for nothing, man.
And that's gonna start the next civil war.
Yep.
Because you got these Edomites that have guns, form militias, all that. They're saying, they had that one dude who said, hey, you get a shot before I get a shot. He was shooting his gun off in the desert. Hey, look, these motherfuckers been waiting to go to war with their own government because they understand who the real threat is, man.
Yeah.
So and while you're having a civil war, you're on the verge of World War III. So how do you think that's gonna end for you, man?
All you newscasters, you celebrities, you sports figures, you politicians, you pushing that Vanessa, those people gonna come after your ass. They gonna literally eat your ass. Right?
Yeah, they gonna be bad.
You ain't safe, man. Esau protecting your ass. Esau protecting his own ass.
They showed you that in the movie. This is the end.
Yeah.
And they showed it as a comedy, but it was real life.
Oh yeah, they even had the ground opening up and all that. They had the straight.
Movie Rampage. When this guy died outside in the woods, all the people that followed him came after the news people, man.
Hey, you just had a prime minister get hit in the head with a brick, man.
Well, the thing is that in these other countries, they're actually starting to act out against those liars, which are their officials, the media, because the media is just a bunch of bullshit. And sooner or later it's going to come to pass here. When this place starts to inflame and heat up, it's mentioned in the scriptures that these people going to start to come against the kings, and then they're going to not have no regards against their princes. That's mentioned in the second Esdras, man. And also the media, man. The media is just medium. It's a bunch of witches.
Right, because it's talking about the host of the high. Matter of fact, I got it. This is Isaiah 24 and 21. And it shall come to pass in that day, Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So all you guys that think you're in high places, what it said, he said, who shall bring me down to the ground? First of all, a lot of you niggas are lower luminaries, so you're not going to be in the bunkers with those rich elite banking families you working for. They're going to abandon your ass. The scripture says they're going to say to the rocks, fall upon us and hide us from the face of the land. Hey, because they know them chariots coming, they know the angels is coming. You got footage of angels just walking down the street now and shit. You know what I'm saying? Going to the grocery store and shit. They motherfuckers do this shit to you and shit peace, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So hey, the Lord is entering into the house of the thief, so they know that their time is short, their time is up. Okay? And all you motherfuckers that have followed this beast, man, you're gonna be left with your ass in the wind, man. To be devoured, man. You're gonna be, the missiles are coming. These elites ain't gonna be here, but you will.
I got scripture. This is Sirach 14 and 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? Esau had everything. and it was never enough. Okay, as the curse went, he went. He said that he would be on his belly, always trying to fulfill it. And he done did this to the point where he nothing but destruction. Okay, he shall not take pleasure in his good. These elite banking families had everything to the point that, like I said, you should have been happy, but you couldn't because you was cursed. So you kept following and trying to fill your belly. Now you done filled your belly to the point that you get ready to vomit it all up. You get ready to get gut checked. Okay? As a boxer say, I'm hitting you in your gut and see if you can hold it down or not. The Howard shot about to gut check your ass and make you vomit all this shit.
And swallow down riches and shall vomit them up. Oh, Jimmy East World. Goddamn, you try to swallow, you bit off more than you can chew, man. And I think later on in that scripture tells you how we're gonna take everything you stole. We're gonna get that, man, including you, man.
All right. The just shall put it up.
Yeah, he said he stole up
riches, but the just shall put it up.
Right, he had riches for the last days. That one too. You know what I'm saying? You know, riches profit not in the day of wrath. We finna get all that. We finna get the earth. We finna get all the shit you imagined about that you thought you could do. That Star Trek shit. Ain't no Captain Kirk.
Exactly.
And Captain Kirk is going into fucking slavery, man.
That's right.
All right, Captain Kirk ain't going no fucking where, but in the fucking cotton fields, man.
Yeah,
all right, that outer space, all those new planets you seeing. Oh, for the brother was talking about Planet X. Okay, we gonna get Planet X, man. All right.
Only thing Captain Kirk is he picked out.
Hey, you want the difference between Captain Kirk and us? He said going to where no man's been to. We done been there. We may go back there now.
Hey, yeah, I got a scripture. Proverbs 25:19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. All right, and Esau, the Most High ain't in this man, like it says in Psalm 74, man. You don't believe in the Most High, man. All right, so all you 2/3 Jakes, you new casuals there, you work for Esau, man. Like brother said, man, your ass is gonna be in the wind, man.
Because, like the brother said, it's confidence in an unfaithful man.
Right.
You know, because ultimately, when you look at all those scriptures, they're ultimately talking about Esau, Edom. He's an unfaithful man. He's a wicked man. At the end, this is the man that he's the man subject to change because he's the man that's going to go down and drain at the end of the line. That's the man he's the example to not follow. And well, that's it. He's the son of perdition.
I got one real quick. Because your ass is grass, man. This is Psalm 37:2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and withered like the fruit, like the green herb. Okay? So your ass is literally going to be grass, man.
No, matter of fact, since you grab that's Second Thessalonians. Bring it out, brother.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. It says, Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
So there it is, man. The man of sin has been revealed, and he's done. All right? And we can't wait. We're watching it happen, man. This is an exciting time.
That's right.
All right? So with that, man, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodash.